Hey, welcome to the first YouTube broadcast of Addictive Fishing here. I want to say thanks to you guys that watch us on YouTube. We found out that we get a lot of views, almost as many views on YouTube now as we do people watching the show on TV. It's pretty amazing. So you guys keep your phones heated up and keep watching. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff outside of the TV this year. We're learning the Periscope. We're going to have the Google Hangout. We also got Instagram, all that good stuff. So waiting to see who comes on and wants to chat. This is a spot where we're going to be doing, I'll be showing you knots, anything you want to see. I think we're going to set up a certain time. All right, there you go. What's up, buddy? We got there, South Florida. Not much. What's happening there, South Florida? All right, let's load up Periscope too. Periscope's good. Well, Google Hangout's what we got right. Oh, I guess YouTube right now. Can't get that one right.
All right, tell us about the season.
Had a great season so far. We just got done filming the last show of the season, which is the season finale, where we go back and show you the highlights, all the highlights I like to see. The highlights our new producer Sam Tilley likes to see. We're sitting here in the studio right now. I guess I'm the only one on camera, but they're sitting back there doing their thing. I see them like little kids on their phone.
Getting ready on Periscope.
Pretty cool stuff. They're starting the Periscope, so we're gonna do a dual YouTube Periscope deal. How's that? Talk about getting up with the times, huh? What's your favorite type of bait to use when fishing mangrove snappers? It all depends on where I'm at fishing mangroves. I love fishing them on the East Coast over about 70 foot of water. If I'm over here in Tampa, I love fishing around the structures in Tampa Bay. And basically right now, wherever you find those little tiny minnows, whether it be the the little shiners, little thread fin herring, I don't even keep them alive. I'll take them and fill up a half of a 5 gallon bucket and get to wherever I think there's any mangrove snapper, and I'll start chumming them up. Whenever I see a few come up, put a couple on the hook, throw in, open the bail. As soon as the bail starts going, click it over, and boom, you got mangrove snapper. One of my favorite snapper to eat. Let's see, what's ever fished the barrier islands, the Mississippi barrier islands? Yes, I have, quite a few times in the FLW tournaments. A lot of fun. I love it out there. Get done fishing, catching redfish, you head over to Hard Rock Cafe and have a little fun. What lure catches reds the best, in my opinion? A gold spoon. And there's one I designed out there that works great in a lot of places. It's the Mogan spoon. It's got a Trokar hook on it, trailer. It's a teardrop type style spoon. Works real well.
What about for soft plastics?
What's my favorite soft plastic?
For redfish.
For redfish. Have to be my $100,000 bait, which is a 16th ounce DOA jig head with a electric chicken cowtail on it. I've won quite a few fishing tournaments on that and placed well enough. I caught a lot of redfish on that color. Snook, trout, and tarpon too. You ever fish the middle grounds? No, but I'm going to very soon. I was supposed to go this weekend, but I had an unfortunate happening and didn't get to go. But very soon. My buddy's got a 27 go fast boat. We're going to go out and be back before lunch, he said.
I got a guy here on Periscope asked if you fished the North Carolina Crystal Coast.
I'm not sure the Crystal Coast. We were inside doing the Pamlico Sound this year. Just got done doing a segment on the season finale. And just Pamlico Sound is the only place that I fished in North Carolina.
What should they look for on YouTube?
Look for Bulls in the Noose. And that's Bulls in the Noose River. So we were right there at the mouth of the Noose River. We try to come up with some different names of the show, and that just happened to be Big Bull Redfish right at the mouth of the Noose. And
Texas.
What's that, Texas?
Fernando. You ever come down to Texas?
Oh yeah, I'll be down in Texas here at the end of next month. They're doing a Dick's Grand Opening in Brownsville. Come on down and say hey. They've got some great deals going on down there as far as rods and reels and lures and everything Dick sells. It's a neat place. and love fishing Texas. I was about that close to moving to Rockport at one time, about 10 years ago.
Oh, he's asking Galveston specific.
Galveston specific. Yeah, I like Galveston. It kind of depends. We've done the FLW out of Galveston a few times, and we normally ran either east or west to get out of Galveston, really. But fishing Galveston Bay on the, I would say, the east side, got those mud banks up in there where those redfish like to hang out, and just using a popping cork and gold spoon did real well there. Also chasing the schools around out in the middle, chasing the slicks. That was pretty cool.
You got a guy watching on Periscope that he's showed up for his senior picture, and he brought your flats blue rod in the photo for his senior picture.
Cool, man. That's cool. I've seen him in a lot of places, but I don't think I've ever seen him in a high school in a picture. At least it was a flats blue one, right? Cool. How do you fish the St. Lucie Inlet? How often do I fish the St. Lucie Inlet? I fish it whenever I can get down there, really. Got lucky and my truck broke down in St. Lucie one of the last times I was fishing down there, and ended up, when I went back, Mark Nichols lives right there in that area, owner of DOA Baits, and called him up and said, let's go fishing. Ended up catching a 32-inch trout, so wasn't a bad day or a bad place to break down. Mogan, M-O-G-A-N, jive turkey. Outfield fish, Daniel. Did you ever?
What happened? Sorry.
There you go. Did you ever fish for snakehead in Florida? No, I never have, but I have an airboat now. Me and my wife go out in the St. Johns River a lot fishing, and I caught what I think was a snakehead. I know I've caught eels out there before, but this was it was a lot bigger than any eel I've ever seen. I think it was a type of a snakehead. It was pretty ugly. The great blue heron got to eat it that was sitting next to me. On a normal day, what will I fish for? Mangrove snapper is one of my favorite. If I can get a chance to go catch mangroves, great table fare, and even little 16 inchers I use 20 and 30 pound test for, because you just got, they're such a tough fish. And when I do have the opportunity to go catch big trout, usually April, May, or sometime in the winter time when they're in deep water, I like going and catching great big trout. What do you like most about my Skeeter boats? The dry ride and the fishability of them, and being able to get down inside and work on them. They got a hatch that I can crawl down into if it's lightning out. I could get down in there and shut the hatch and get in there and work almost. It's that big. They know things are going to go wrong with the boat, a water pump or not a water pump, but your live well pump. All that banging it takes, eventually it's going to break. You got to get down in there, and you don't need 3 elbows and 2 wrists to try to get down in there and change stuff out. It's real easy to do. Do you ever get bothered by other people who run into you while fishing for the show? No, believe it or not, people come by, they'll wave, and I'll take time out of the show if I'm out there filming. Unless I'm bowed up on a fish, I don't mind people coming by and saying, hey, it's just, if we're right in the middle of a set, there's a lot of times you'll see people, or actually you won't see people in the background, because a lot of times they'll be out there idling in the background thinking they're getting on TV, and they never do, because my producer says, cut, wait. And well, sometimes I make it on there, but most of the time we don't get bothered out there. And thank you for that, for y'all that see us out there when we are filming.
Biggest fish on fly rod.
Did I ever fish in Europe? Biggest fish on fly rod, 180 pound tarpon. It was our first year, I think it was, our second year, first or second year. Go on YouTube and watch it. It's called the tarpon. It was the biggest shiner I ever caught, and it was huge. And when I was in the Air Force, yes, I did fish in Europe. I guess the statute of limitations are out, but we snuck on a lot of farmers' properties over there and caught rainbow trout like this, and had fish fries back at the dorm. It was fun. Great topwater lure fishing the flats. If you want to catch nothing but big trout, use the biggest top dog that they make, and just keep throwing it. I mean, eventually something's going to hit it. And question earlier, I like catching big trout, and when I go catching big trout, I use the biggest baits I can find, whether it be live baits or using a great big top dog out there, something that makes You know, a little bit of noise if it's choppy, makes a lot of noise if it's choppy, but it's just you gotta present it, kind of figure out the pattern of the fish the way they want it presented. Because a big trout, when they reach over say 5, 6, 7 pounds, their main diet is other big fish, and they'll only eat once or twice a week, maybe sometimes once a week. So use the biggest thing you can for big trout. Favorite fish to catch offshore: yellowfin tuna. Hands down, they're a great fight and great to eat. Best bait for tarpon? You could ask 10 Tampa Bay guides out there that fish the beach, and they'll tell you 10 different baits. But and not to sound like a smart aleck, but it's whatever they're eating at the time. Tarpon will eat past crabs during the hill tide, and they won't touch a blue crab usually. And when the hill tide's over, and the hill tide is when the full moon's the biggest and the tide's rushing out the most, and that just flushes everything out of the port in there, out of Port Charlotte. And most of the time it's past crabs, so they focus on past crabs. That's why we always say, like, match the hatch or imitate the bait that's out there, because that's what they're eating at the time. So it's not any really one favorite bait. I think if you went down to Robbie's and you threw a crab in the water, I don't think it would get eaten, because they're used to getting, you know, little scraps of stuff. But it's kind of all depends on what they're eating at the time. Just pay attention to what they're munching on. Sheep's head fishing tips. Make sure there's no puffers around, but I like fishing sheephead with a little tiny number 4 hook, where I can hide it inside the shell of the crab. And if the sheephead happens to swallow the hook all the way down, I use the little tiny eagle claw hooks, and heck, just clip it off and tie another one on, especially if it's a good sheephead. But if it's an undersized sheephead, it's going to end up falling out anyway.
27 people watching on YouTube.
Are you fishing or just talking? Not in the mean way. This is our first YouTube live broadcast, so we're giving it a shot and see how many people come on. If it turns out to be a good thing, we'll maybe make it a weekly thing or something like that. Where you can come in and ask me questions. If you want to see a knot tied, we'll have a different camera set up, kind of our beta version right now, but we'll have a camera basically kind of set up where you can see knots that I'm tying over my shoulder and whatnot. We'll set it up at a time where not a lot of people are at work or having to hide behind the cubicle to watch. Biggest tuna ever, about 120 pounds on spinning gear. It was at night in Louisiana and about 7,000 feet of water. Awesome. That was cool. We don't even have a picture of it.
Never do.
How do you choose the captains who we fish with? I get calls, I get emails. I meet captains a lot at Dick's appearances. They'll come out and hand me cards. I can't call everybody back. I wish I could. There's only 13 shows that we do a year, and basically it's 10 captains that we use. And this year we had a lot of new captains that came on board, and we still use a couple of the old faithfuls. Billy Henderson out there. And I don't know if he wants to get hooked with us anymore again. When I just saw it, I hooked him in the arm twice. But that's how we do it. Oh, these are coming way too fast. Ever fished the SF Bay area? No, I haven't, but I have fished the Catalina and San Clemente Island out there. I've been out there quite a few times now. My in-laws live out there, and caught yellowtail and lots of them calico bass. Fun.
Go look for Catalina Blue on YouTube or San Clemente.
Yeah, San Clemente or Catalina Blue on YouTube would be those two shows that we did out there.
How often do you get skunked?
You have a great memory. I still got some left up there. You ever fished out of America? Yes, I have, and I tell you, I did one of the most killer trips in the world. Down in Brazil. It was up until just a few months ago. It was the most viewed clip we had on YouTube. There's actually a couple of different shows up there from Brazil, and we fished the little Addictive River down there, right off the main
Rio
Negro River. No, we were in the little Addictive, which is off the Rio Negro, which is off the Amazon. So that was a lot of fun. Fished in Cabo San Lucas too. That's where I caught my marlin. Marlin's something, just a fish that really doesn't thrill me. They're beautiful fish. They're quick. I still want to catch a blue, but no, I'd rather be inshore and do it what we do every day, and that's redfish, trout, snook, tarpon, and just out there having fun catching fish.